Well, on this review, what we got to do is just simplify the last step. This is the last step, square root of 2 squared times 13. Well, 2 squared, we can move this outside, so because there's something we can do. This is one of the properties of the square root. You can write 2 squared times 13 equals to square root of 2 squared, right, times square root of 13, right? On this first factor here, we can simplify because we can eliminate the square root with the square. Then we have 2 times, but these are the one we cannot simplify. 13 is not a perfect square. We keep it. We keep the 13 under the square root symbol. The answer is 13. You're right, smiling. Thank you. The only thing we can do is find an approximation if the question asks. So you bring your calculator and you're going to try to find an approximation. 2 times 13 square root equals, and let's say the question asks you to round to 2 decimal places. This is equal to 7.21, right? But you cannot find an exact answer. It's having lots of decimals on the answer. Okay? All right. Thank you, Smiley. Thank you, Christelle. Now let's move to the next topic, the topic of today's class, which is about circles. Yesterday we worked on the distance formula. Today we will apply the distance formula to find an equation that represents a circle in the XY plane. Very interesting application. The first thing I will show is kind of an illustration, a curiosity. You don't need to remember all the steps. I'm just going to show how to apply the distance formula. Here, distance equals square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. This is the distance formula, right? I will show how to apply to find the equation of a circle that have the center in the coordinates x equals h and y equals k. This is the center of the circle, right? And the radius of the circle is r. So coordinates h and k of the center, and the radius is r. We will apply this formula kind of if you're calculating the distance between the center and the edge of the circle. And let's say the edge is point number 2, x and y, the unknown, and the center we know is point number 1, x equals h, y equals k, right? So distance r equals the square root. x2 is going to be x, and x1 equals h squared, plus y2 equals y, and y1 equals k. This whole thing is square roots. Now apply square on both sides of this equation. We can simplify because we have square root with square. We can simplify, right? So let's just erase this. We simplified the square root with the square. We can erase this. Now we have r squared equals parenthesis x minus h, close the parenthesis square, plus, open the parenthesis, y minus k, close the parenthesis square. This is the equation. This is how we represent a circle on the xy plane. All right? We can remove this parenthesis, we don't need. And this is going to be r squared. Now, what you need to understand from this slide is that we can find the equation of a circle using the distance formula. Right? Don't need to remember to memorize this step by step. But the next is the application. Then now this you have to know. This you need to know how to work out. We will do an example to find the center and the radius of the circle. Okay? All right, Madi. Now today is Wednesday. I'm to be honest, I'm a bit confused as well. But since today is Wednesday, it's early dismissal. I'm following Wednesday schedule. Well, no problem. I give you attendance. Don't worry. I'm sorry about the confusion, Madi. Good morning. We're talking here about how to find the circles. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Amadi. I'm confused. I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused today. But if he's right, well, anyways, we will work now a little bit, and we can have a very easy quiz today. And I don't know. They don't give specific instructions to digital teachers. They gave like instructions to all the teachers. But I will follow this Wednesday schedule, if you don't mind. All right, Madi, welcome. Good morning. Well, today we were talking about circles. And what you have to do, very simple, is identify on the equation of a circle that looks like that, the center of the circle, the coordinates of the center, and the radius. And I will show how simple it is. Look, first we have to find x of the center, right? X is going to be the value that makes this x minus 3 equals to 0. X minus 3 squared equals to 0. What is the value of x that makes x minus 3 equals to 0? X equals 3, right? 3 minus 3, 0. Now, next thing, I have to find y. What is the value of y that makes y plus 4 equals to 0? And then y equals negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 equals 0, right? So we have x, we have y, and now 36. Radius equals the square root of this number here on the right hand side of the equation, 36. What's the square root of 36? 6. Nice. We have x, we have y of the center of the circle, and we have the radius. And now I can graph the circle. X equals 3 is this line here, x equals 3. Y equals negative 4, that is the line. Y equals negative 4, and that's the point. This is the center. X equals 3, y equals negative 4. And the radius is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we can sketch the circle. And I'm sorry if my circle is not perfect. I'm gonna try to do it by hand, the best circle I can. Okay, I'm gonna try to do by hand and pretend this is a perfect circle. Okay, it's kind of, let me fix this, maybe this side here. Maybe a bit better. Well, pretend this is a perfect circle. This is how you graph. You don't need to graph. On the quiz, you just have to match the equation and the drawing, the graph of the circle. All right? Any questions about this? It looks simple, right? You can find x, you can find y, And you can find the radius of the circle by looking at the equation. Nice? Okay, easy peasy, or kind of easy but a little bit hard, or very difficult, or extremely hard, impossible to understand. You can give me a feedback. Let's find out now the right answer for the bell work. And you don't need to do any calculations. Have a look. You just need to know a little bit about geometry and some properties. Let me draw here this line. What do you think about this line I just draw? It's going to be the diagonal of the rectangle, and both diagonals, both lines, both red lines, they have the same length, right? They are symmetrical, but they have the same length, right? AC have the same length as OB, right? But what is this line here that starts on the center? This is the center of the circle and ends on the edge of the circle. What is the name of this line that starts on the center of a circle and ends on the edge of a circle? This is the radius, right? This is the radius. Agree? You can say R, radius R. What is the value of the radius if you compare with the diameter? The radius is the diameter divided by 2. So the answer, this line, the red line is the radius, they have the same length, and the length is the diameter divided by 2, or d over 2. You also can answer 0.5 times d. It's also a correct answer. We don't have any winners today, but you tried, you thought about it, and that's good. That's a good thing. The right answers, it can be d over 2 or 0.5 times d. Both are correct. Identify the center and radius of the circle and match with the right graph. So let's work on letter A. Okay, letter A. First, we need to identify the center of the circle. We need to find x. The x coordinate of the center is the number that makes this x minus 4 squared equals to 0. What is the number that makes x minus 4 squared equals to 0? X equals what number? X equals 4, right? 4 minus 4, 0. What is the number that makes y plus 2 squared equals to 0? What is the right number that makes y plus 2 equals 0? We need to have y equals negative 2, right? Negative 2 plus 2, 0. So the center, the coordinates of the center are x equals 4, y equals negative 2. What about the radius? Radius is equals the square root of this number here. So square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is 3. 3 is the right number, the right answer for the radius. The next step is to find out one option that have the radius equals to 3 and the center of the circle x equals 4, y equals negative 2. What would be the best option or the right option? If you check, I think I can see already. Number 4, right? Radius equals 3 and x equals 4, y equals negative 2. So the answer is 4. 4 is the right answer. Letter B, we need to find the value of x that makes x minus 3 equals 0, right? So the value of x equals 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. We need to find the value of y that makes y plus 1 equals 0. So y equals negative 1. Those are the coordinates of the center. X equals 3, y equals negative 1. Now let's find the radius. What is the radius? Look at this number, and we need to find the square root of this number. Square root of 16, 4. And we have the center, we have the radius. Let's find the right match and check all the options. What is the option? They have radius equals 4 and center equals x equals 3, y equals negative 1. And I'm going to say yes. 12 will be the right choice. 12 is the right choice for letter B. Okay? Let me show the next one. Letter C. Well, same thinking. What is the number that makes x plus 1 equals 0? What is the number? X equals negative 1, right? What is the number that makes y plus 1 equals 0? Y equals negative 1. So negative 1 and negative 1. What about the radius? The square root of 1. What is the square root of 1? 1. Now go to the options and find one. One of the options that have radius equals 1 and the center x equals negative 1, y equals negative 1, and the answer is going to be yes, number 9. So on letter C, number 9. Right? And I'm going to give you also letter D, and after that I think you're going to be able to work by yourself and find by yourselves. What makes this equals 0? X minus 4 equals 0? Letter K, yes, Makina, no problem. X minus 4 equals 0? 4, 4 minus 4 equals 0. Same thing here, what makes y minus 4 equals 0? 4 again, 4 minus 4 equals 0. And the radius, the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Find the right option. I think I can see. Radius is 2, and center is x equals 4, y equals 4. The answer is 6 is the right answer. Makina is asking about letter K. Not a problem. Let's check letter K. Letter K, the only difference is it has fractions, and but we can calculate. That's not a problem. What makes x plus 4 over 5 equals 0? What is the value of x that makes x plus 4 over 5 equals 0? X equals negative 4 over 5, right? Negative 4 over 5. Negative 4 over 5 plus 4 over 5, 0. But we don't have fractions on the options. I think we're gonna, we need to find the decimal answer. If you type in a calculator, you're gonna find this. 4 divided by 5 is 0.8, so this is negative 0.8. What about y? We have just y squared. We don't have anything plus y. We don't have anything minus y. No, just y squared. What makes this equal 0? Y equals 0, right? If we have y equals 0, you're good. The center is negative 0.8 and 0. Now let's find the radius. The radius, okay? 0.8, and 0. What about the radius? It's going to be the square root of this thing. Square root of 64 over 25. We can break it down in the square root of 64 over square root of 25, and this is 8 over 5. Calculate 8 divided by 5. Okay, Devin, no problem. Calculate 8 divided by 5 is, you can type in a calculator, is going to be 1.6. So the result is 1.6. What is the option that have radius equals 1.6 and the center of the circle negative 0.8 and 0? Can you find out the right option? Yes, it's going to be number 1. Okay.